Hello. Today we'll be talking about volume of a sphere. So remember, spheres are 3D objects. In real life, we would consider like balls or anything like that, round objects. We talked about the surface area, which is the outside. Now, volume is the inside. Okay? And here is the formula. Volume equals 4/3 times pi times r cubed. And let's break that down. 4/3 really means 4 divided by 3. Remember that bar is a fraction bar. Pi, we know is 3.14. And r cubed really means 3 r's multiplied together. So r times r times r. So let's break it down just a little further to make it as simple as possible. So we said 4/3 is the same as 4 divided by 3. I have pi right here, which is 3.14, and r cubed. If I bring out the r cubed and expand it, we would have 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times r times r times r. And that's it. If you know the radius of a sphere, you know the volume. And it was just like the surface areas too. As long as you know the radius, you know everything. And if we look at this problem, the radius was 6. They plug it into the equation. So they do it this way. They do 4 times 3.14 times 6 cubed, which equals 216. And then they divide by 3. They do the math, and they get 904.32 inches cubed. Now, I did a little different. I usually have the numbers first, knock out the numbers first, and then the variables. It's up to you. You could do it this way or the way they show you. But let's try it with some problems. Now, I take my formula and I bring it over. Okay? And what am I going to do with it? I'm going to find the radius. So this one, radius equals 10. So wherever I see an r, I replace it with 10. So let's do that right now. Volume equals 4/3 times 3.14 times r times r times r. So I keep the numbers the same. 3 times 3.14 times 10 times 10 times 10. And what will we get? Take out the calculator. 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 10 times 10 times 10. Ooh, that's a big number. But remember, we have a decimal point here. So it's really 43,122.66. I'm always going to generally stop at the hundredths place or the tenths place, or if they ever tell you. And don't forget my measurement, millimeters cubed. Let's do the next one. What is my radius? 9. So wherever I see an r, the radius, I'm going to plug in 9. Let's see what happens when we change the radius just by one digit. This was a 10, this is a 9. Let's see how different the volume is. So again, 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 9 times 9 times 9. Something seems weird. Okay, So this one was 3052.08. And if I look back, oh, I made a mistake here. I did 103 instead of 10. So again, I make an error. Let's correct it. Times 10, times 10, times 10. So this was kind of close. 6.66. So by changing one number, just moving it over once, we see a difference of around 1,000. Okay, so that's how different volumes can be just by moving it over just a little bit. Now, let's look at our next problem. The Earth. How big is the Earth? How much stuff can we fill in this Earth? All right. So I looked it up, and the radius is 6,378. Remember, we're always trying to find the radius. So 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 6,378. 6,378 times 6,378. What happens when we put this in the calculator? How much space do you think is inside the Earth based on kilometers? So let's do it. 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 6,378 times 3,678 times 6,378. Look at that number. The volume is 1,230,340,743.04 kilometers cubed. Remember, kilometers is a measurement of length. So that is how much space the Earth takes in our world. 1 trillion some odd cubic kilometers. That's a lot. Now, we know the volume of the Earth. What else do we know is big inside our solar system? If you guessed the sun, you're correct. Now, the radius of the Earth was 6,378. What about the sun? 696,340 kilometers. Let's see what happens if we plug this into the calculator. 96340. Just to make it easier, I'm just going to put cubed here. Let's see what happens. So, again, 4 times 3.14, divided by 3. Remember, I could do it either way. It's whatever comes first. Times 696,340 times 696,340 times 696,340. It's so big that it would take 18 digits. If I counted the Earth's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This one Whew. But let's see if I can write this out in Google to get an exact number. So I was able to put it in a calculator. And guess what I found? I can't even tell you this number. It's that big. Look how many commas there are. Thousands, millions, billions, trillions. What's after trillion? So I looked it up. What's after trillion? Quadrillion. And then quadrillion. So that's how much space the sun takes up. 1.4 quadrillion kilometers cubed. Alright. Now let's think about this. We know the volume of the Earth, the volume of the sun. How many Earths do you fit into a sun, though, if you wanted to? Let's see. First, what is my volume of the Earth? We know the volume of Earth is this number. I believe it was 1 trillion. How about the sun? 1 quintillion. Now, while I'm doing this, I want you to think. Using these numbers, if I'm thinking about how many fit into the sun, what operation should I be doing? Adding, multiplying, subtracting, division. Well, I'm going to fit it inside, so I'm not really adding it. So if I'm not adding it, chances are I'm not multiplying it. I could count up how many Earths just by going, 1 Earth, 2 Earths, 3 Earths, but with these big numbers, chances are it would take a long time. So let's do it the opposite way, either subtraction or division. Now, what do you think is easier? Subtracting this from the sun every single time? Repeated subtraction? Probably not as efficient as division. So I'm going to divide these two numbers, and let's think and see how much Earths can fit inside a sun. Alright, so I put it in a Google calculator. And look at this. That's my answer. So how many Earths will fit? Let's put the commas. Remember, I always start at the decimal point, move 3 over. So it would take roughly 1,302,059 Earths to fill up the sun. That's how small that Earth is, almost. As big as it is because we're on it, and we're the small ones. Earth is super, super small compared to the sun. And just to show you how crazy our solar system is and how small the Earth is or how big it is, you can watch this video. It goes over certain stars and planets and galaxies about how small things are and big they are. Now, I want you to realize that when we talk about shapes, spheres, just like you measured it before, it's usually diameter. So this is diameter. If we go to Earth, it says 13,000. And what did we have? 6,378. So they rounded up a little bit, and they weren't just doing the radius, they were doing the whole diameter. So the diameter of the Earth is 13,000. And if you see how big things get. So take a look at the video, see the amazing parts of our solar system. Okay? Now, onto the homework. Remember, first you want to find the radius. Lucky for you, all of these are the radius. Okay. Oh, wait, right here. I found one, the tricky one. 5 centimeters is my diameter. So, if 5 is my diameter, how do I get the radius? I would divide by 2. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And if you look at this one also says diameter. You need to find the radius first. And that's it for today.